Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be swapping it up. We're pretty much at the point where we can put the welder away, and we're going to be busting out the saw way back there. And we're going to start working on the interior, which is something I've been looking forward to. So yesterday it was like, I don't know, 60 degrees out. Today it's snowing, so we're going to be inside the van. So we're going to start measurements. We're going to start by building the wall that's going to go between what I'm calling my jail cell and my game room. So I'm going to swap some tools around and clear the van off a little bit, going through the gold wing, do some measurements, and start cutting some wood. Because there's really nothing I can do on the outside of the van. So let's get started. Alright, so here we are, end of day one. And a couple things got done. I only worked on this for about 2 hours. We got the wall built. Now, I had two different ideas for themes. I was going to go with the jail cell theme, and I was also going to go with like an 80s theme. So I decided, you know what? It's a van. Why not do both? So we're going to be doing the jail cell theme up here in the front, what I'm going to call the living room. So if you watch the videos, you know we already got the wrought iron on the grill and the back louvers. So right here in the center, this is going to be my jail cell. Now, the wall, I still got to ply with this. Maybe I'll do that tonight. I doubt it, though. This is going to be all stone. I'm going to be using air stone on this. You know, it's only like 3/4 of an inch thick. I used it in my house. Pretty cool stuff. And I'm going to build a wrought iron jail cell right there. It's going to be on sliders, so the door is going to slide that way. I've also picked up what's going to be my third passenger chair. I just got to get a swivel. I got this old school, it looks like an electric chair. I'm just going to have to, you know, put like a spaghetti strainer on the top of it and get a little transfer switch, which, you know, they sell those on eBay for Halloween props. So that's going to be my electric chair setup there. And mostly I wanted to do the wall so I could do my templates in the ceiling here. I'm splitting this with two different pieces, probably like, I don't know, 3 foot 8 inches or so. So I'm probably going to end up like right around here with my seam. Now, what I bought was pegboard for the ceiling, and I also bought a dual fiber optic kit because I'm going to be running fiber optics dropping down through the ceiling. And that's going to take a lot of time to run, but now that I got the wall in, I can get my measurements, and I can start the template and get the pegboard cut and start running the fiber optics and, you know, obviously glue the material that I'm using onto the pegboard. That's something I can do in my living room. I kind of like doing stuff inside the house, especially during winter. In the back, going with my 80s theme. If you watch Vandemic, you know we built benches around these wheel wells. I'm not going with a bed or anything because I don't need it. So we're going to have benches here and here. We got the Playboy bunnies already on the inside. If you've seen Vandemic, you know how we cove the walls. That's getting done here also. And between these two, I am going to source myself a Miss Pac-Man tabletop cocktail machine. And then any other 80s stuff I could do back here. Whatever I could find. We'll go that route. So that's where we're at, end of day one. We got a game plan. Now we can go through, start the roof. And we are going to actually pull that down and start working on that. Because I do have a bunch of stuff I got for Christmas for the overhead console. Luckily, my wife and I just ordered gifts for each other. So she got me a lot of van stuff. Worked out good. New day here. And I just got done at work. I say I just got home from work, but I work from home most of the time. So here's what we're doing today. We got the wall all framed up for what we need. And now I measured from front to the back. I have to split this exactly in half. Normally I just go like a 4 foot piece up to, you know, this pillar. And then like a, I don't know, 2.5 foot piece. But because I'm running fiber optics and there's 2 strands, I want to kind of make them equal. So I'm going basically with like 2 32-inch pieces. The goal for today is to get the templates all measured out and cut, and then the pegboard that I'm using for the fiber optics cut. Then I could be working in the house for the next couple days, running the fiber optics. It's going to take some time. So I'm going to start on the templates and see where we end up. All right, we got the template laid out. We got it marked with a Sharpie. So we're going to save this piece because this is the same depth that we need. And then we're going to get the front board mounted and then trace the back. So let's take this off of here, start cutting. And there's our first piece. All right, well, here's where we ended up last night. We got the entire roof in. I'd love to say that, you know, my templates were great and it all lined up for a shot, but it didn't. So I had to go back and do some trimming here and there. So I have everything all marked up. Something I suggest, always like circle the holes where you're gonna be using them and then transcribe that to the back side. We gotta get this down and get it into the house really quick before the wife gets home, because I've learned that it's better to ask for forgiveness rather than permission. So I'm gonna unscrew this and see you in the house. And here's the part that my wife absolutely hates. Well, besides me using the kitchen scissors just to do automotive shit, she's not a big fan of when I spray adhesive inside the house. And because there's plenty of room in the master bedroom, that's where I like to do most of my interiors. So I'm gonna hurry up and get this done before she gets home. Wish me luck. So, wife just came home and caught me mid-stroke. You know, stroke. And surprisingly, she was not upset about the spray adhesive. She was not thrilled with the kitchen scissors, though, and repossessed those, but I already made my cuts. So, we're going to grab that panel, we're going to grab that piece, and we're going to put them together. So here we go with the fun part. I got my fiber optics. Now I have this is 2 sets, so 1 set for the front panel, 1 for the back. These are 225 fiber optics apiece. Well, so they say. So we got 33 holes going vertical, and we have 55 going horizontal. So some quick math, 1815 divided by 225. That's going to give me 1 roughly every 8 holes. So I'm going to go through, just, you know, start 1, then 8 holes, 8 holes, 8 holes. And then up here, I'll start staggering them. Doesn't really matter what pattern I do. I just want them to be somewhat symmetrical. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to use a pin and pop a hole right through. And you can see, well, you probably can't see, but here's a fiber optic. And we're just going to throw the fiber optic through. And it's in. So we're going to set this up on a table. We're going to do a few. It's going to be a spaghetti mess. But after I get, like, you know, 2 rows, I'm going to tape them down so they don't move. It's going to be easier to see this rather than explain it, I think. So you decided you wanted to run fiber optics in your headliner. Well, I'm going to show you what I found to be the easiest way to do it. Well, number 1, pegboard. It's really the only way to go to do this. So what you're going to want to do, obviously you have to mark all your mounting holes. And, you know, I mark these on the front when I put the screws in. I mark them on the back. That way I can pop a hole through so I know where the screw goes back up through it. And here you can see I got all these marked. I always draw a line running to the hole because it gets lost. Easiest thing to do is going to be split the board in half and take your fiber optic strands, and you can see I got them hanging kind of straightening out right now, and just cut these in half, because otherwise it becomes a god awful mess if you try to do it. So basically this is the back, so that's where I'm going to start. I'm going to start at the back and work my way towards the front. I'm going to have 1 strand on this side of the line, 1 on that side of the line, and I'm just going to go out at angles, because if you don't do that, you end up with just a spaghetti mess, which, you know what, I'll actually show you exactly what it looks like, because I already did 1 panel. Yeah, it's pretty ugly. I mean, it looks fine once you tape it all down, but I just think this is going to be easier for my purposes as far as routing it, and I am going to do this a little bit different as far as pulling the strands through. I wasn't sure how much I was going to have on the other panel, since the other panel sits back behind this one. So, but this one, I know I don't need much, so I'm going to pull probably, like, I don't know, 5 feet through as I go. Whatever I don't need, I'm just going to pull through and cut. So I'm going to get this started, and I'll show you where we end up. Also, for my purposes, I only use a thumbtack and just poke a little hole and then put the fiber through. But if you're going with something thick, I would recommend going with Now this is a needle for putting ink in a cartridge, and the tip is just perfect that the fiber optic fits into it. So I would suggest, you know, popping your hole through, then coming back up. That's if you're using something thick like diamond quilt. Then you can put the fiber optic down into there and pull it right through. And it's nice and clean. So I'm going to get this started, check back with you guys in a couple minutes. Alright, we're about to get started. And basically you just want to do yourself a little bit of math, a little bit of counting. Now I know I got 54 rows going across, 34 rows going up. So I'm going to multiply that out. That's going to give me 1,836 total holes. Minus a couple. Doesn't really matter. And this is a 225 fiber optic strand. So that's going to tell me I need one every roughly 8 holes. So I'm just going to start here, and I'm going to go back and forth alternating. And it gives you a random pattern, but it's also somewhat of a pattern when you're done. And you could do like 7 holes, 6 holes if you're too close. But on average, we want to go about 8 holes because that's going to give us perfect amount when we get to the end. So, don't know how well you can see this. But like I was saying before, when we get to the middle line, wherever it lies, whatever hole you're going to use, go with whatever side. So see, this side here, this is my first one. Now, I'm no rocket surgeon, but this should be a much cleaner install than the other panel. So we're going to keep going, and no reason to record this. I will see you guys in about 6 hours. Okay, it hasn't been 6 hours. It's been like 6 minutes. So you can see as I go through, I tape everything down. Now here you'll run into a situation where we'll say like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Our 8th hole is right next to another one. Now it doesn't matter, you could go that route, but there's a good chance that you're going to end up forming a pattern this way. So, I just jumped over 2 holes, and then I'm going to start over. Just a way to mix it up. It's up to you how you want to do it, but that's just my suggestion. So, I don't know how well this is going to work. And if it does work, I'll time-lapse this, but I'm going to try recording like a minute of the process here. So, let's see if this works out. Alright, I'm also going to do this in slow motion. So, here's where we ended up, right here. So, we're kind of working our way back and forth. Doesn't really matter which side we start from. So, I'm counting in multiples of 8. So, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, that's where I'm going to go. So, basically, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop my thumbtack in there. Wiggle it around a little bit just to open it up. Then we go to my strand, and I'm always trying to grab the closest one to the outside, just so you're not tangling these. We're gonna take it, and yeah, this can be a mess. So we have our strand, we have our thumbtack. I'll set this down. Hopefully you can see. We're going to stick it through. We're going to feed her all the way in. Then we're going to take our duct tape. We're just going to get a little strip. Doesn't matter the size. And stick it on there just so it doesn't move. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there's our next hole. And rinse and repeat. Something that I like to do when I reach like we'll say the 25% mark, I like to cover everything up with tape so I don't have to worry about it ripping out for some god unknown reason. Now I do everywhere except for my mounting holes, where I'm going to punch holes and I'm actually going to put the screws in so I don't lose my mounting holes. You can see I got mounting holes on the outside. They're easily identifiable. So I'll go all the way up past my mounting holes, like 2 rows past, then I'll throw another layer of tape down. And then gives me some satisfaction knowing that I'm 25% of the way done. So we're going to keep on going. Everything's laying out nice and flat, unlike the last time. So yeah, I'm liking it. The juice is worth the squeeze. Here we are. Board is all done. I'm not going to miss this. Not one bit. So I'm going to go through now. I'm going to tape the whole back side. I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to cut it so that there's still about a 1/2 inch poking through, just in case when this flexes it pulls it a little. And make sure when you tape it, leave your mounting holes so you can poke through and put a screw back in. Otherwise, you'll lose them forever. So I'm going to jump on this and be right back. All right, so here we are with Free Candy's new headliner. Let me put it on breathe. Yeah, so this looks really cool with the music option, but really can't do that on YouTube. And I was going to end the video here, but it's still a little light outside. So I got to go throw this in the van. Just holding in with like 2 or 3 screws per panel, but see you in a couple minutes. All right, guys. I don't remember the last time I was this excited for it to get dark. So here we go with the final product. Now, of course, I had to load up some YouTube-friendly music to avoid the copyright strike, because we've been hit with that before. And I put this on the music version. Let's see here. And of course, there's a whole bunch of stuff you can do with this remote. As you can see, you know, you do all your different colors, bunch of fades. Put it on like breathe. You can adjust the motor speed. Bunch of cool stuff I'm gonna have to figure out. But overall, very happy, very time consuming. So I think that's gonna wrap up this video. I mean, I think it's cool as shit. So guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned. Who knows where we're going next? Pretty cool. Alright, let's kind of keep it on the down low that I'm using my wife's like turkey platter for a template out in the garage. She doesn't like house stuff in the garage. Go figure.